In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate how to connect to our online repository known as DockerHub and then import images or pull images onto our Ubuntu VM running on the Google Cloud platform. So once I'm logged in, I'm going to jump right in, and let's first verify whether we have the VM up and running. So let's go to Products and Services, click on Compute Engine, and then here you are going to see your VM down below here. Okay, so here's the VM running, here are the IP addresses, and then of course I can connect to the Ubuntu machine directly from here by clicking on the SSH connect. Okay, the other way of course is to go to Google Cloud Shell and then connect to the Ubuntu machine. We've been doing that in the previous lessons, okay, but here I can directly connect to this machine by clicking on the SSH button here, and once it connects, it gives me the same prompt, right? So I can start entering commands and providing commands to the Ubuntu machine, and from this shell we are then going to connect to DockerHub. Now before I in fact connect and start using these, let me close this. I'll come back to this. I'm going to click on leave. Let's go to DockerHub. So here's DockerHub. Just hub.docker.com and make sure you log in with your name. And here are the official repositories, right? So as an example, I'm going to go ahead and maybe pull the Mongo repository. And I'm going to click on the details. Then you can read about what MongoDB is, right? It's a cross-platform document-oriented database. So I'm going to pull this using the docker pull command. Okay, so this is the docker pull Mongo. Straightforward. So let's go back to our compute engine, bring up our SSH shell for the Ubuntu VM. All right, perfect. So once I'm logged in to the machine, let me bring this in the center here. I'm going to go ahead and do the sudo docker daemon, and we use the docker daemon to connect. Otherwise it's not going to log in, it's not going to connect to the DockerHub. Okay, so make sure my spellings are correct. For sudo, it's sudo. All right, great. So sudo docker daemon first. I'm going to start it and then enable it. Okay, so simply start, and once the docker daemon is started, I'm going to go ahead and do sudo docker daemon enable. After enabling it, then I'm going to run sudo, spelled correctly, docker, and then login. And what this will do is prompt me for the username and password to connect to the hub.docker.com account, where all these official repositories are, and that's where we're going to pull MongoDB from. So the username is Claydesk. It asks for the password. I'm going to enter the password here, and of course it says login succeeded. Okay, now once the login is succeeded, then I'm going to go ahead and simply use the docker pull command. So docker pull, and it was just Mongo, right? I believe that was what we saw in the hub.docker.com repository. So docker pull Mongo, hit enter, and for some reason docker daemon did not start properly, so I'm going to go ahead and do docker daemon. Let me in fact do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do sudo docker pull Mongo, because I didn't specify this in the previous command. Okay, and this time is going to pull it. Okay, so recall we need to use the word sudo because it gives you the admin privileges. Otherwise it's not going to pull the images from the online repository. So depending upon the size of the repository, is going to take some time. So this way you can start pulling repositories into your VM instance. So let me do one more. So I'm going to do sudo, and let's say docker pull maybe WordPress. and it's going to pull WordPress. So likewise, I can in fact go to hub.docker.com and pull any of these repositories into the VM. Now next, I can run a command just to see. So I can say something like sudo docker, it's sudo. Don't ask me why I spell these wrong. Alright, so sudo docker ps command. And obviously at this point there are no containers, so let's do the images. So sudo docker images. And notice it gives me a list of all these images that I've pulled. So WordPress is there, PHP is there, Mongo, MySQL, and then of course our Nginx, which we installed in the previous lesson. So that way we have all these images. Now we are going to take these images, put them into containers, and then of course ship them wherever we want to ship them to. So I hope this helps practice, and let's move to the next lesson.